she may not like our questions last hearing.
Sabihin po nito ay binoboykot niya tayo. Bratinella to the max, no?
You may not like the person, you may not like her presence here, but you have to respect the office of the Vice President.
And just to confirm, COMSEC, no one from the office of the Vice President attended.
Yes, Madam Chair, that's true.
Okay. So,
Point of inquiry, Madam Chair.
yes, please proceed. Kong
Yes.
Eileen.
Madam Chair, so ibig sabihin, wala po ni isa na dumating from the office of the Vice President para sumagot ng mga tanong ng ating mga colleagues, Madam Chair.
That is correct.
Madam Chair, kahapon kasi hindi na kami pinagtanong sa Office of the President. Tapos ngayon naman, wala naman yung Office of the Vice President para tanungin namin, Madam Chair. So Madam Chair, hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit yung two highest position in the land natin ganito sa ating budget hearing sa Kongreso, no? Madam Chair, isang insulto sa mamamayang Pilipino at sa mga kinatawan dito sa loob ng Kongreso na hinalal ng mamamayan. Ano? Ang hiling natin makapagpaliwanag ng accountability at ang hiling natin ay maglinaw, no, ng mga, kasi marami pa po tayong tanong kaugnay dito. She may not like our questions last hearing, Madam Chair. She may not like being questioned about the OVP expenses. She may not like sitting with us here in the House. But Madam Chair, she is accountable to the people and she has this sworn duty to the Constitution, being the head of the agency, to be here, no, para po ipagtanggol or malaman natin yung budget niya, Madam Chair. So yun lang, Madam Chair, as a manifestation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, may I manifest also?
Kong Eileen. Sorry, Kong France.
Madam
Yes,
Chair, pwede ba kami naman muna, hindi naman sunod-sunod na
binigyan.
sila na lang. Madam Chair, please.
So, Madam
I'd
Chair,
I'd
so
like
wala
to,
pa naman po
before
tayo
you proceed,
sa...
Before
May
you
I
proceed,
raise a
before you proceed,
parliamentary
Conference,
inquiry, Madam Chair?
Before you proceed, I'd like to remind our members for orderly proceedings, please wait to be acknowledged
Yes,
before
ma'am,
you
pero-
speak. So sa ngayon po, dahil nauna po si Kong France, paunahin na muna natin siya. So Kong France, please proceed.
puro sila
And
na
then
po
I will
yung-
recognize you after. Kong Dante.
Magkakasunod, Madam eh.
Medyo nauna lang po siya ng 1 second po.
Di ba
Kong
ang
Dante.
ating tradition, unang minority, pagkatas majority?
Wala pa po
sunod-sunod
tayo sa
naman sila.
interpellation, Kong
Oo nga
Dante.
po, pero maski na sa manifestation, dapat ganun din.
Nauna lang po siya, so yes po. Kong France, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, ang ibig sabihin nito ay kahit na binigyan natin ang Office of the Vice President na second round, no, second time around na magpaliwanag do sa budget at magkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon na siya ay matanong dahil ito naman po talaga yung mandato natin dito sa Kongreso, no, mabusisi yung budget. So ang ibig sabihin po nito ay binoboykot niya tayo. Pagboboykot ito, Madam Chair, dahil wala pang akong natatandaan na ahensya ng gobyerno o executive branch na binoykot ang Kongreso dito sa budget hearing and deliberation. So ang ibig sabihin, Madam Chair, betrayal of her oath of office. Kahapon nakita ko yung kanyang video na ginagalang niya yung power of the purse ng Kongreso. Alam niya na tayo po yung nag-allocate or nagbabudget or nag-approve ng budget ng lahat ng ahensya. So dahil pinapaubaya niya na sa atin ito, na hindi niya man lang i-defend, kasi ang laki-laki nung, Madam Chair, yung budget for socio-economic program delivery, socio-economic projects and stakeholder, ang ibig sabihin ba niyan, inaabandonan niya na yung pinaplano niya siguro na mga constituents niya, na bibigyan niya nitong mga programs na ito. So, Madam Chair, so, ang problema dito, no, talagang Bratinella to the max, no, na ayaw nang matanong, no, umiiwas sa mga tanong, at eto pa, no, kapag gusto nating tanungin, hindi uma-attend doon sa ano, no. Kaya talagang Madam Chair, siguro later on, kung ano yung later on na lang po, Madam Chair, yung aking magiging pasya, no, dito sa magiging budget at recommendation sa budget ng OBP. So, pasensya na po ang taong bayan, binoykot tayo ng Vice President.
Salamat, Kong Franz. Kong Marcoleta, you're now recognized.
Salamat po, Madam Chair. Yung hindi po pagdating ng ating pangalawang Pangulo ngayon, ang suspecha ko po ay dahil sa nangyari na mga pagtatanong nung nakaraang pagdinig. I have heard the volume and the barrage of questions asked by members of this committee to the Vice President. Despite the fact, Madam Chair, I heard her several times saying, I forgo the opportunity of defending the OBP budget for 2025 by question and answer, and I leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on such proposal as presented. That was the template of an answer given by the Office of the Vice President. Madam Chair, napilitan po akong mag-raise ng parliamentary inquiry. I think I have earned this. If I survive my term up to next year, I would have survived also, or I would have completed 18 years in this institution. And in this length of time, I have observed a tradition. The tradition is the two highest positions of government, namely the Office of the Vice President and the Office of the President, are not traditionally subjected to questions. I have observed this for so long a time. May I refresh the memory of the members of this committee, Madam Chair. In 2022, the Minority Leader, Honorable Libanan, citing courtesy to the Office of the Vice President, took only about 13 minutes to move for determination of the budget of the Vice President. And after that, the Majority Leader seconded the motion. That was 2022, Madam Chair. Then 2023, no less than the Presidential son, our own Senior Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Sandro Marcos, stood up and invoked the long-honored tradition of according courtesy to the OBP, the Office of the Vice President. And in the same manner, he moved for determination of the Office of the Budget, the consideration of the budget of the Office of the Vice President. I also recall, Madam Chair, that it was terminated. And with the full consternation of Honorable Franz Castro, who then objected, but her objections were never heard until she moved to make up record by way of manifestation her objection. But the committee collectively said, you can no longer do that because there was already a termination of the hearing. This is the time-honored tradition, Madam Chair. For so long a time, we have kept and observed this. We have upheld this tradition. My question is this committee authorized to set aside or discard the tradition? That is the question.
Your Honor, such motion was not introduced in the last hearing.
I'm now introducing the motion, Madam Chair.
I
to
second, Madam Chair.
To terminate the consideration of the budget of the Vice President, Madam Chair, on the basis of the long and time-honored tradition, Madam Chair. In order for us to respect a tradition in the same manner that we have respected the tradition here that the first to interpolate every time is the member of the minority. That is the tradition. We have not yet discarded that. We're observing that because we are honorable members of this Congress. So the question is, why have we discarded that tradition? Is this committee authorized to set aside the tradition? If we are not able to do that, Madam Chair, then I honorably, respectfully now move to terminate consideration of the budget of the office of the Vice President, and I so move.
Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, Madam Chair, Madam Chair,
Move and seconded.
Session suspended.
These questions never happened before. That is the one I'm explaining to you. It did not happen before. Now, ang tanong ko po, ba't nangyari po nung nakarat, nangyayari na naman ngayon?
We are talking of the office, not the person.
Motion was introduced.
You may not like the person, you may not like her presence here, but you have to respect the office of the Vice President. That is all. Because that is guided by the tradition. Kahapon po, kagaya po na sinabi nila, wala nang pinagtanong sa Office of the President. And that is correct. That is in line with that tradition. Ngayon po, kung ang tinatanong ko ngayon, are we discarding the tradition? And is this committee authorized to discard a well-kept tradition? O kaya nga, then why are we intending to ask questions na naman at pinatawag nyo na naman kung sino-sino dito? That is why, kung Office of the President, Vice President, kung ano-ano pinagtatanong nyo sa kanya. These questions never happened before. That is the one I'm explaining to you. It did not happen before. Now, ang tanong ko po, ba't nangyari po nung nakarat, nangyayari na naman ngayon?
We are talking of the office, not the person.
Motion was introduced.
You may not like the person, you may not like her presence here, but you have to respect the office of the Vice President. That is all. Because that is guided by the tradition. Kahapon po, kagaya po na sinabi nila, wala nang pinagtanong sa Office of the President. And that is correct. That is in line with that tradition. Ngayon po, kung ang tinatanong ko ngayon, are we discarding the tradition? And is this committee authorized to discard a well-kept tradition? O kaya nga, then why are we intending to ask questions na naman at pinatawag nyo na naman kung sino-sino dito? That is why, kung hindi po kayo makakasagot, Madam, ang tinanong ko na sa inyo, I am now moving. Oh, may brati-bratinela pa? Saan po kayo nakakita ng gano'n? This did not happen anytime. Panglabing 7 taon ko na po ito.
Alam nyo, Madam Stella, I was already here when the Vice President was Noli Di Castro, when the Vice President was Binay, when Vice President...
But you were also here in the last hearing. No motion was introduced.
Yun na nga, kasi question na kaagad eh. Walang man lang...
We can read the records. No, we did not introduce.
Nag-motion siya ngayon.
What is
Parliamentary status, parliamentary status. The first thing is that is the manifestation of Congressman Dante Marcoleta, and it should be answered by the members. If a motion, then after that, Marcoleta will vote that motion. Hindi pa nga nasagot eh. Will we let just Marcoleta to speak? And then move to the motion? Sagutin muna. Sagutin muna yung point niya.
The chair will answer.
Yes, you can introduce a motion, but have a member introduce it.
No. Before we move a motion, parliamentary lang ka.
The rulings of the chair form parts of the precedence of this committee and of the House. So you have to answer the question.
Sagutin mo na.
Yes.
Then saka mag-move. Kung may
Yun.
mag-move.
Oo. Okay, settle. Yes. Rulings of the chair form parts of the rules because it will set a precedent. So if we will set a precedent now that we are discarding traditional parliamentary courtesy, then goodbye parliamentary courtesy. Wala na tayong parliamentary courtesy. Next hearings.
Dapat members answer your query or your manifestation. Then,
Anong member is chairman na tinatanong ko? Pira naman na.
Ay, we don't have the authority to speak.
Oo naman yung pinagsasabi mo.
Why the chairman only speak? Hindi ba kami pwede salita? We are also member, just the same. Dante, alam mo yun. Alam mo yun. Can the vice chair cannot answer your query if he has the answer? Pwede.
Ang pinag-uusapan natin, ang chairman ang sasagot.
No. It is not only the
Ano
chairman.
naman magsasalita ng ganyan?
Well, back here, nagsalita na nga eh. Kaya na ako record. Hindi pwede yun. Hindi pwede magsalita yung iba. Hindi pwede yung chairman lang. Di ba? Di ba? Pwede ba yung done best? Saan parliamentary procedure in the House that the members cannot speak? Pwede. Di ba?
So, the Honorable Marcoleta, please repeat your inquiry.
Yes, in connection to the earlier parliamentary inquiry, Madam Chair, I have already related the value of tradition. Parliamentary procedures, Madam Chair, grow from or are enriched by traditions, experiences, and precedents collectively gathered by the House of Representatives over years, and the institution keeps them well. That is why, from my entry in 2004 or the 13th Congress until today, I have observed the observance of that well-kept tradition. The two highest positions in government, namely the office of the President and the office of the Vice President, were duly accorded with respect and deference. I have observed that. That's why I have relayed to you earlier, in 2022, the Honorable Libanan, invoking courtesy, took him only 13 minutes to dispose the office of the Vice President. And that was quickly moved, quickly seconded by no less than our majority leader. That was in 2022. I'm not going by record, Madam Chair. 2023, I said, no less than the presidential son, our own senior deputy majority leader, stood up and said that in line with the time-honored tradition of according courtesy to the office of the Vice President, I move to terminate the budget briefing of the OBP. And I can recall the Honorable Castro strongly objected.
No, Manuel.
No, that's in 2023. This is by the record. And she objected, but her objections were rejected by the committee because the committee already terminated the proceedings. And she kept on requesting, Madam Chair, that she makes at least her manifestation. And she was unable to do that because the proceedings were terminated. So that, what I am saying, from 2004, when I entered these halls, these hallowed halls, hanggang pundo sa sinasabi kong 2023, we have kept the tradition. Ngayon po, kung ano-ano ng mga tanong ang ginawa, in 2023, 22 minutes. 2022, 13 minutes. Ito po, pinagawayan na po yung budget earlier at ngayon we're about to quarrel again on the budget. Ang tanong ko nga po ngayon, dahil nga po sa nangyayari ngayon sa budget ng Office of the Vice President, and despite her manifestation that she will no longer defend her budget because she forgoed, or sabi niya, I will forgo my opportunity to defend the budget of the OBP for 2025 by way of question and answer, and I will leave to the House of Representatives to decide such proposal as presented. We cannot even accept such kind of answer, Madam Chair. What do we need her to articulate for? So ang pinag-uusapan po natin, wala na po ba yung respeto sa tradisyon na yun? Kagaya po ng binabanggit ko, every time mag-i-interpellate po dito, Madam Chair, because of that tradition, it's always the member of the minority who will start the interpellation because we have kept that tradition. Ang dami po. Ang dami ko pang sasabihin sa inyo, haba lang tayo. So the question is, when we did that to the Vice President earlier, now we're doing it now, are we now setting aside this tradition? That's number one question. Number two, is this committee authorized to set aside the tradition?
Your Honor, short answer is no to both questions.
Okay. If that is the answer, Madam Chair, and we are all bound to respect one tradition so sacred in our hearts, because we are called honorables in this house. We cannot be honorables if we cannot honor our own tradition. We are defined by what we believe as a tradition in this house. So if we are now all amenable that we have kept that tradition, no longer questions are being asked, then I will respectfully move, Madam Chair, to terminate the budget of the OBP for 2025.
I object, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you.
I object.
Madam Chair, I
There's a
object.
motion to terminate the budget briefing of the OVP, but there is an objection, so we divide the House. The chair has decided to divide the House. So those
Madam Chair,
in favor
as
of the motion,
as a rule, we usually deliberate
Those-
before we vote.
those in favor
We deliver-
of the motion, please raise your hand. Those in favor of the motion to terminate the budget briefing of the OVP, please raise your hand.
All those against.
Those who are not in favor of terminating, raise your hand.
For non-tradition.
Okay.
45.
3 in favor, 45 against.
3 in favor, 45 against.
Motion is
The motion
lost.
is
Lost.
lost.
Madam Chair, I thought we have kept the tradition. The tradition is no longer ask any question. That was the tradition. So why are you voting against the motion?
The majority of the
It-
will
it's-
is always respect.
It's
The will of the
inconsistent
majority
with
is
the
always
tradition that
respected.
we have already agreed to observe.
So we will
Yes, Madam
proceed
Chair.
to the next.
You mentioned earlier that we will keep up the tradition. You said no.
For
Earlier, now
orderly
we voted
proceedings, I
against.
remind the members to please wait to be recognized before speaking. So, the chair now recognizes the
Madam
budget
Chair.
sponsor, the Honorable Zia Adyong, to give a recap of what transpired in the last hearing.
Madam Chair,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, before
Madam
we proceed with Vice Chair Adjong, can I
Yes,
explain my
um,
vote, Madam Chair?
Paduano?
Can I explain my vote, why I voted against the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta? Just short lang.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you po. Madam Chair, tama po, during the previous hearing, wala pong nag-move to terminate the budget. That's number one po, of the OBP. Number two po, the demand or the answers being given by the Vice President during the time, personally, it does not satisfy this representation. Thirdly, Madam Chair, the courtesy being given to the Office of the Vice President is afforded if she is present in the day's hearing. How can you give that courtesy when Faki is absent in the day's hearing, Madam Chair? I might change my vote for that, but
Was the President of the Philippines
are you
present?
recognized?
Please. Please
I am
wait
about
to
to
be
be recognized,
recognized.
Madam Chair.
Please wait to be recognized. Please proceed, Kong Paduano. You
You're
have
not
30
yet recognized,
seconds.
Marcoleta. Madam Chair, maybe I will change my vote if the for the motion of Marcoleta if the Vice President is present in today's hearing. But he's absent. How can I personally vote for that? Because he's not present in today's hearing, Madam Chair, and that courtesy should be given to those head of office that should be present during the budget deliberation, Madam Chairman. Thank you.
So, Kong Zia, you're now recognized. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Majority Leader, Representative Manix Dalipe, Committee Chair Saldico, members, honorable members of this committee, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good morning po sa ating lahat and welcome to the continuation of the budget briefing of the proposed 2025 budget for the Office of the Vice President. Madam Chair, in the previous hearing for fiscal year 2025, the Office of the Vice President proposed a budget of 2,037,305. As of the most recent report, the OVP has an obligation rate of 39.9% for 2024. During the last budget briefing, several topics were propounded that the committee sought to be clarified upon. First, members of the committee asked the Office of the Vice President regarding the notice of disallowance issued by COA for the confidential funds released in 2022 indicated that 73 million pesos or 58.6% of total was not utilized in compliance with Joint Memorandum Circular 2015-01 of COA, DBM, DILG, GCG, and DND. The Commission on Audit has ordered the disallowed amount to be returned. Second, several members of the committee examined the grounds for the disallowance. The COA report stated that this was due to non-compliance with guidelines and the non-submission of supporting evidence or documents. Third, it was noted by members of the committee that the 125 million pesos confidential fund for the fiscal year 2022 was utilized from December 1 to December 31 of the same year, in 2022. A common comment by members, Madam Chair, was that this short period of time within which a huge amount of fund is spent raised further clarificatory questions on the validity of the spending. Fourth, members of the committee raised that there were supposed duplications between the Office of the Vice President's medical and burial assistance programs and those provided by the DOH and the SWD. Clarifications were sought on how these overlaps would be addressed to ensure the proper use of resources. Fifth, there were inquiries about the accessibility of various OVP programs, such as the Educational Assistance Program, the Kalusugan Food Track, and the Magnegosyo Taday initiative for MSMEs. The committee sought further information on how these programs align with the OVP's mandate. And lastly, Madam Chair, the committee requested an explanation of how the OVP's programs reflect its constitutional mandate and whether the proposed 2025 budget will support continued progress in these areas. That would be all, Madam Chair, and I would yield back the floor to the Senior Vice Chair, Representative Stella Kimbo. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
So we shall begin interpellation Siyempre nakakalungkot na wala tayong representatives mula sa OVP, pero muli meron tayong representatives mula sa DBM at COA. And again, I would like to
Madam Chair.
remind our members that you each have 5 minutes for your interpellation, and to remind our resource persons that those 5 minutes will not include your responses. And so, the first
Madam
to
Chair.
interpellate from the minority, we have the Honorable Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez. You have 5 minutes. The floor is yours, Kong Rog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning po to our resource persons from the COA and the DBM. Madam Chair, this representation, first and foremost, laments the fact that the Office of the Vice President has failed to appear today. We lament the fact that, as I understand, the committee actually extended courtesy. In the letter, it was indicated that the Vice President may or may not attend. However, it is required that a representative be here. Unfortunately, not even a representative is present here, kahit USEC man lang, ASEC, not even a director, for us to be answer questions. As a personal courtesy to the Office of the Vice President and understanding her responses from the last hearing, this representation has opted to question mostly the budget of 2023 regarding the regular budget. But even then, unfortunately, it would seem that the OVP is not here for us to question. So but in line with their duty in the House for the deliberation of the budget, I will carry on with my questions. Siguro po dito na lang si COA, because coincidentally, my questions are precisely on the COA report. So with that, Madam Chair, we'll be now proceeding with my questioning to the COA.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
What is your point of order? And please explain the rule that is violated.
The rule violated, Madam Chair, is our tradition. You just upheld that the tradition will be respected. And so, if questions will still be asked, then the tradition that we have kept so well, that you have said that we're not about to discard right now, will be disrespected again. I thought we understood each other.
Kong Marcoleta, we had already voted earlier on that issue.
That's
on
another
tradition,
matter,
so
Madam Chair.
your point is not well taken. Please proceed, Kong Rog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, Madam Chair, I'd like to direct my question to the COA. Madam Chair, I understand part of the budget of the OVP was utilized for the construction of satellite offices. Would that be confirmed by the COA?
The Office of the Vice President has several satellite offices. 3 established in 2022 and 7 were established in 2023. So it's wait. I stand corrected. 3 force based on the report, or 7 was established in 2022 and 3 was established in 2023. So around 10 satellite offices were established by the Office of the Vice President.
Madam Chair, my next question was supposedly about whether there were additional satellite offices or extension offices established in 2024. But I believe the COA will not be able to answer this, so I will forgo this question. I also have a question as to whether there will be additional SOs and EOs in 2025 as to their proposed budget. But I understand also the COA will not be in a position to answer this, so I will forgo this. Madam Chair, based on the OVP, annual audit report for 2023, there is an item there regarding the rent and lease expenses. Would you be able to clarify with us what were your findings on rent and lease expenses?
Based on our observations, there are no major deficiency or significant deficiencies on the rent expenses of the OVP.
Sorry, Madam Chair, may I clarify, magkano po yung lease expenses that you have found in your audit report?
Based on the notes to financial statement prepared by the agency, the amount of rent expenses for the year 2023 is around 53,463,434.11.
And Madam Chair, for fiscal year 2022, how much po yung release nila?
For the 2022, it is 29,867,228.20.
So, or roughly from around 30 million to 53 million po yung increase, no? Yung grant natin. Okay, thank you. But for these SOs and EOs, actually, Madam Chair, on this juncture, I was supposed to ask the Office of the Vice President if there was any studies conducted as to the locations of the satellite offices and extension offices. But as there's no representative, I will have to forego this question. Madam Chair, may we ask the COA, based on their reports in the previous administrations, were satellite offices and extension offices constructed by previous administrations?
On my knowledge, based on my knowledge, the previous office of the Vice President or the previous administration for Office of the Vice President does not have a satellite offices.
No satellite offices. Thank you, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, what exactly is the function of, based on your audit and based on your investigation, what is the exact function of a satellite office or extension office?
Based on our audit, the satellite offices has the functions to extend the social services such as the medical and burial assistance of the programs of the Office of the Vice President.
Madam Chair, so it's meant to be an extension of the social services function?
Yes.
But Madam Chair, I understand in your executive summary, you also, as COA, you familiarize yourselves with the office and the function, and the mandate is necessary for you to determine whether or not it is in line with what they are supposed to be doing, correct, Madam Chair? So, Madam Chair, with the OVP, what is the exact mandate of the Office of the Vice President as far as the COA is concerned?
Based on the notes to financial statement or our report, the OVP is a national government agency established under Section 3 of the Article 7 of the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, and later reorganized on July 24, 1987 under Executive Order number 240, and then as the second highest office in the land committed to the service of the nation, OVP performs executive, ceremonial, and advocacy functions, collaborating with stakeholder and organization in both public and private sectors to develop and promote programs that uplift the lives of the Filipino.
Madam Chair, according to the COA, in your opinion, can the OVP continue its programs without satellite offices and extension offices? As you mentioned in the previous administrations, wala naman pong SO, wala namang EO. So, based on your audit findings, would it be absolutely necessary that we have this rent and lease expenses?
I think if the question is kung necessary po ba yung mga pag-open ng extensions offices, I think the question must be addressed to the Office of the Vice President, not the auditors. But then on our point of view, based on our audit, that to extend the services, it is considered or it may be okay for the Office of the Vice President to open an extension office or satellite offices to extend their services.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, I would agree, and I was actually considering foregoing that question, but I just wanted to get the COA's opinion since they have institutional and historical knowledge of yung previous administrations and the fact that they were able to carry out their functions without satellite offices and extension offices. But with that, Madam Chair, understanding also that tama naman po yung sinabi ng COA that perhaps the SO and the EOs are there to assist in the administration of other functions of the OVP. I understand that there's a finding in your observations and recommendations, number 8, regarding the cash advances. Can you please clarify ano po ito?
Madam Chair, under the number 8 of the observation, this is the under and over budget allocation for each satellite offices. Based on our review on the average monthly disbursement of each satellite office, based on the actual expenses for CY 2023, it disclosed that the cash advances granted to the disbursement officers in the OVP satellite office were not within the 2-month budget requirements as required by the Section 20, Chapter 6, Volume 1 of the GAM4 and GAS. So there is an under and over 2-month budget requirements.
Madam Chair, my understanding po of this cash advance is to allow for the orderly administration of those functions of the SOs and EOs po, no? And rightly, there are guidelines with the COA that 2 months po yung ideal na meron parang for their operating usage. Madam Chair, can the COA correct us? Based on their understanding of the nationwide needs of budgeting and auditing, are all regions equal po ba? Are all the requirements equal throughout the country? Or varying naman po siya based on demographic, based on demand? With
Madam Chair,
other functions, for example, in your auditing of the DSWD, sa history po ninyo, when auditing their social services functions, equal po ba palagi ang budget ng kanilang regional offices?
Madam Chair, on my knowledge, actually, dapat po mayroong assessment on the scope or the number of beneficiaries involved, kasi kung assistance po ito, kailangan nating i-consider yung number of beneficiaries, so hindi po dapat equally.
Correct. So we should be actually considering ano po yung pangangailangan ng ating mga kababayan, ilan po yung ating mga kababayan doon, yung population center, yung how far they are from the office. Yun po ay mga aspects that we consider when setting up regional offices. That would be a fair assumption to make. Correct po, no, Mr. Chair? Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, yes po.
Yes. Madam Chair, do you find it odd that for all of these ex-satellite offices, they share an equal 2.2 million cash advance? Except, of course, for the BARM, which suspiciously only has 200,000 cash advance granted?
For this observation, the Office of the Vice President established or equally granted cash advance for 2,200,000 for each satellite office except for the BARM. So kaya po mayroon kaming observation na over budget utilization, kasi for us, I think hindi dapat siya uniform. It must be consider po yung lawak ng scope or yung mga beneficiaries involved po natin para po ma-consider yung tamang amount na i-establish po natin.